Well, it's Valentine's Day, and Republicans, I don't know, they're just not feeling the love. Forget Cupid. Are these guys just now playing stupid? Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and just call it the grand old funk. Republicans caving in on a payroll tax cut they once insisted be paid for, and barely a heart-shaped peep over $500 billion in defense cuts they swore they would never stand for. Republican pollster Chris Wilson says that if Republicans want to keep the House and capture the Senate, well, they'd better get some cojones, and quick. But I don't know. I mean, they have a funny way of showing that resolve. Chris, what's going on here?
Well, I think they're a little bit scared right now. They look at the economy. It's starting to improve slightly. That helps Obama and the Democrats. They're looking at primaries and caucuses with pretty low turnout. They're looking at a potential nominee that may not excite the base and, in fact, may be an anathema to the Tea Party conservatives and the movement conservatives that make up the majority of our base. And to be candid, they're getting some really bad advice. You know, one of the big problems with Congress is it happens to be located in Washington, D.C. And as you and I both know, Washington, D.C. is just not a conservative place. So what they amounts to is they spend their day walking around what is sort of a left-leaning echo chamber. I mean, you take two leading Republicans that are quoted all the time right now, Tom Davis and Tom Reynolds, who ran the NRCC for a while, and you hear them saying that Republicans have got to stop all this conservative stuff. They've got to stop arguing with Obama. And their idea of conservative policy is to moderate the left-leaning Democrats' bad policies, and that's just the wrong way to approach it. So we need Republicans that are less worried about holding their position or keeping the House and more worried about doing what's right.
Well, you know, there could be a method to this, and I understand the argument for Republicans who say that if they get the payroll thing off the table, they separate it to then separately having Democrats vote for it alone and deal with unemployment benefits as a standalone measure. I could see the method to that, but I do think we were talking about songs before, but movies like Cher in Moonstruck, where she just slapped Nicolas Cage across the face and say, "Snap out of it." I just think that they hold many more cards than they let on, and they don't know it, you know?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, the crazy thing about all this is just plain dumb. You look at the way Republicans won the House 2 years ago, it was by being conservative. It was by appealing to the Tea Party base. I can go further back. We can talk about 1994. We can talk about Reagan. But literally just 2 years ago, the way in which Republicans won races was by moving to the right, by being conservative, and by taking a stand against Obama and the Democrats and standing up against health care, standing up on the economy, standing up on the deficit. And to see us now start to moderate those positions, start to roll it back a little bit, is about the biggest political mistake I could imagine we could ever possibly make.
All right, but you know, the argument for moderating, if that is what's going on here, I suspect there's some truth to what you're saying, Chris, is that they don't want to be looked upon as obstructionists or not moving the ball forward. And say what you will of the Washington media or that scene, that's how they're being portrayed. It's not fair, it's not right, but it is, and that's what they're trying to deal with. You say they shouldn't pay attention to that.
Well, I think Republicans have got to learn that we pretty much always play on a away court, if you will, to put it in basketball terms. You're never going to get the calls of the ref. You're always going to have to work them and try and appeal directly to the crowd. And that's what we've done so well at, by standing up to the Democrats, by standing up to Obama and health care. No, the media did not stand up. The mainstream media did not stand up and say Republicans are doing the right thing here. In fact, they tore them down. And can you name a single Republican who lost their election in 2010 because they fought Obama on health care? Can you name a single Republican who lost their election in 2010 because they stood up to Obama on the deficit or on spending? I mean, the fact is Republicans won races in 2010, and they will win races in 2012 by taking conservative positions on issues and by not moderating or trying to compromise with Obama on these issues.
All right. Very good seeing you, Chris. Thank you very much. Chris Wilson.
Thanks for having me on it.
They need to do it.